I'm going to tell you guys about the time that I got an extra long spring break. I was back in high school. I was taking an art class. I always took an art class. I was always in some sort of creative art type, whether it was digital art or, I guess, physical art. So in my physical art class, we were going through and doing some stuff with clay. Now, a lot of you already know this story, or some of you do, rather. um, so I had taken I had taken some clay, and we were supposed to sculpt something out of it, and we weren't going to have it like fired or anything like that. We were just supposed to make a sculpture of some kind. Hey, Fraser. And we were supposed to sculpt something out of it and then draw the sculpture, I think. So I had taken a little bit more clay, um, and I sculpted a clay penis, as you know, teenage boys tend to. Um, but it was a really good one. It was really, really good. I don't want to describe it too much because then it'd be a little bit weird, but it was top notch. So I had this friend Spencer, and he really, really, really liked it for some reason, and asked me if he could have it. And I was like, sure, you can have it. I mean, I don't need it for anything. Um, and I gave it to him, and Spencer was notorious for leaving his backpack around campus, just wherever. So, like, 2 weeks goes by, I think. I think it's 2 weeks. And he leaves his backpack somewhere, and our security guard, um, Dana, hi Dana, also on Facebook, picked up the backpack, and he had to go through it to figure out, is it dangerous? Is there something going on with it? I mean, he's doing his job. Um, and Dana finds his clay penis in the bottom of this backpack, and eventually figures out that the backpack belongs to Spencer. So Spencer gets called in, and they ask him like, "What the hell? Why do you have this clay penis? Um, why do you have this clay penis in your backpack?" And he's like, "Oh, Mike gave it to me." And so I get called in, and they're like, "Why do you have this clay penis?" I was just laughing the whole freaking time because like that's not something that happens in real life. At least not in most people's lives. Like that's something you'd see in a sitcom. But so I would so I had brought. Sorry, I lost. Um, Let me think about this one for a second. Let me think about the timeline rather. So they call me in and question me about it, and then they get really, really mad. Sorry. So they get really, really mad, but it's hilarious to them as well. So our high school had two disciplinary people, which I don't know why, because it was such a small high school. It never occurred to me. Anyways, so there was ones for last. It was divided up by last name. So they split the alphabet in half, and one half had one, or rather, they split the how many students there were in half, figured out the ratio of last names, and did some math to figure out you get this many, I get this many. These are the last names, blah blah blah. So I went to my disciplinary person who was married to one of the other teachers there as well. I won't say names because of whatever reason, Dustin. So she pulls me in and has this very stern and serious look on her face, like almost concerned for me, but still very stern and like, hmm. And she's like, "Do you have any idea how bad this thing is that you did?" And I'm just laughing my ass off because I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I made a clay dick and somebody found it on campus. That's hilarious. And And she cracks a smile, or a grin, I guess, just like out of the corner of her mouth, just like. And I saw it, and I was like, ah. So she's like, it's obscene, and it's this. And my argument, because I was a little asshole teenager, I was like, I made this in art class, and I acted like I was offended. I made this in art class. This is art to me. She's like, this isn't art. This is pornography. And I said, well, there are new drawings and sculptures all over the world. People are still doing them. Is that pornography? And she says, well, those generally have more body to them. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, more physical body to them. I'm like, oh, so if I would have made an ass and a pelvis and part of the legs, now it would have been art? And she said, yes, that would have been art. And I'm like, well, art's really, nobody can really define it other than an expression of some sort. What was I trying to express? I have to think about that one. So the so she's like, this is not okay, Michael. And she started like giggle yelling, I think is the best way to put it, because you could hear that there was laughter in her voice, but she was yelling to try and drown it out a little bit. And she's like, this is so serious. I had to take pictures for evidence. And then she referred to this upside down Starbucks bag, this paper upside down Starbucks bag that like scones come in, that was sitting on her desk. And my clay dick was plopped on her desk with this upside down bag on top of it. And I saw the pictures. It was in the report. It was in everything. She was so, God, it was so hilarious. And she's like, you're going to be suspended for the rest of the week. And I sat there thinking, and I was like, so what you're telling me is I made a clay dick. I got one of the teachers, or rather one of the administration, to take pictures of it, and you're giving me an extra week for spring break? And she's like, she did the math, she's like, damn it, I guess you're right. So I got an extra week, because that happened on a Monday. I had the whole rest of the week off, and then I had my 2 weeks for spring break. So don't do that, kids, by the way. Don't recommend it. I'm surprised I didn't get in more trouble, honestly. But it was just so funny. Oh, man. What was I trying to express? I don't know. I'm going to think about that one. I'm going to think about that one long and hard. All right. Catch you guys later.